Welcome. In the previous sessions, we have discussed about the elements of diffusion of innovation and the adoption process. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the influencing factors of adoption and opinion leadership. As we know that adoption follows 5 stages, from knowledge to up to confirmation. There are 5 stages: knowledge, persuasion, decision, implementation and confirmation. And in each stage we try to eliminate the risk. First is by knowledge, we try to gather more information so that we do not end up in a wrong choice, followed by how we are persuaded to take a decision. In the decision stage, again we try to evaluate several pros and cons. Implementation stage, finally we go and adopt maybe a trial pack and try to see how it works, and finally when we stick to this choice, then we confirm actually the adoption. So here, we stepwise we are eliminating risk, which Rogers has said that the innovation diffusion process is an uncertainty reduction process, and suggests that some attributes of innovation that facilitate to reduce uncertainty of adoption of innovation. Basically, as Rogers suggests, 5 basic characteristic attribute of rate of adoption, and they are like relative advantage, compatibility, complexity, trialability and observability. Let us discuss one by one. First is the relative advantage of the product. Rogers delineates the relative advantage as the degree to which an innovation is perceived as the better than the idea it supersedes. If I adopt a dishwasher, how it is better than my maid system? If I am using a scotch pipe, how it is better than the coconut fiber? The cost of purchase, social status of the customer and his motivation aspects of adopting the innovation together constitute the term relative advantage. Then if I see that I can buy it in a very low cost, I mean in a or in EMI, maybe I can buy in EMI, and then but it will enhance my social status and it will reduce my time. I can just switch on the dishwasher, I need not to stand there, so I can do something else that time. So I have a time benefit of using this product, then probably I may switch on to use a dishwasher rather than by other way of washing it on myself. For example, innovators, early adopters and early majority are normally more motivated by esteemed need for accepting innovations. On the other hand, the late majority and laggards lay huge importance on the economic and social acceptance on the product, how others will perceive. Then comes compatibility. In some diffusion study, relative advantage and compatibility were treated as similar aspects. Nonetheless, they are not conceptually similar. So, Rogers said that compatibility is the degree to which an innovation is perceived as consistent with its existing values, past experience and needs of the potential adopters, which means if I am going to buy a particular laptop, so should I buy a Pavilion kind of like HP Pavilion kind of bigger screen laptop? If I am a frequent watcher of movie in the laptop, probably I will like that. But see, if I am a frequent traveler and every time I have to carry it for my business presentation and all, I do not like a very big laptop because it would be heavy to carry. So, it is not compatible with me, whereas if I am a movie fanatic, the bigger one is compatible with my way of life. So, on the other hand, so therefore, the lack of compatibility of the innovative product with the needs of customers might demediate the customers to use the product. So, on the other hand, if any innovation matches with the lifestyle and need of the target population, it will turn out to be an innovator. So, to move forward, we can say that like considering the huge power curves, low income level in the Indian semi-urbans and rural areas, Godrej and Boyce, they launched their low cost innovative Godrej Chotu Cool in the year 2010. After the Gujarat earthquake, Mansukh Bhai Prajapati has introduced clay-made refrigerator first in Gujarat. It is a very low cost one and it does not require electricity. So, this means that the kind of population it is targeting, they are in the hostile environment because of lack of electricity and lack of income also, and maybe maintenance services and all these things are also not so available. So, that is why this kind of product is good for them. There is, I will talk about a particular innovation of Remia Jos, a Keralian girl. She has invented a pedal washing machine which could be run without electricity, and it is just very basic things which she has used, and mainly it runs with the pedals of cycle. So, you can take it near the pond and pour water and wash it, a number of clothes in a limited time. So, and it is a low cost invention also. So, this was an award winning innovation anyway, but I am trying to say that this is a low cost innovation. If properly commercialized, then this product might cater to the need of the rural population as well as the low income population who cannot really afford a bigger washing machine or a high price washing machine. This is compatibility. So, about coming back to the Chotukul aspect, Chotukul is a portable refrigerator, and in its design it is 45 liters and 9 kg. So, it is priced at INR 3750. In its design, the compressor was replaced by the cooling chip and a fan to make it more efficient and economical. So, they have used a kind of reverse engineering technique as claimed by Mr. G. Sundaraman, the Vice President of Corporate Development at Godrej and Voice. And to ensure the visibility of the product and accessibility, they have distributed it to the members of microfinance group in the rural periphery. Now, another aspect which may create an hindrance for fast adoption or the rate of adoption, or it may slower the rate of adoption to the population, is the complexity of the product. If the product is plain and simple, easy to use, then the customers will adopt it very fast. It is a high tech product, complicated product, then the customers will take much time to first understand the feature of the product, understand how to use it, and then probably they will buy it. And for those kind of products, actually the personal selling would be sometimes personal selling is very good, because say products like Euroclean, Aquaguard or this kind of products, when these were innovated, mostly this would be used by the house wives or the female members of the house who may not be too much technically sound, may or may not be, I am saying. So, somebody has to come and demonstrate them how to use it, that is very important, and how to maintain it. So, therefore, because it is a complex product, unless you create a persuasion in this way, unless you motivate the customer and tell them it is easy to use and how to use it, you demonstrate, it is very difficult for them to adopt it. Similar is true for the insurance products in our country. Insurance penetration in our country, particularly if you talk about medical insurance, is very, very low. Even when government has launched Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana for the poorest of the poor, that also the penetration is not so high. Now, the basic reason is either there is a problem of the distribution, the product has not reached to them, or they could not perceive what it is actually, because it has not been told to them. So, similarly for insurance product, actually most of the companies, what they do when they launch a new policy, they first promote it in the advertisement just to make the customer aware that this policy is going to come. But after that, the sales force has to follow and communicate to the customers the details about the policy, the exclusions about the policy, because it is a complicated product. Second is the next is trialability of the product. So, Roger says that if the defines trialability as the degree to which an innovation may be experimented within a limited basis. So, as I told, if the trialability is more, the adoption rate would be faster. So, that is why there is the detergent, soaps, tea packets and all this thing, these get diffused very fast than the than the expensive products. Because for expensive products like car, you can, or refrigerator, you cannot give car, still trial rides could be given, but for the refrigerator you cannot give a person a trial ride in the refrigerator, trial use of the refrigerator, or the jewelry you cannot see so this, there is some kind of problem in trialability for the expensive items. So, particularly for the, and even in the apparels, that is why in the apparels now most of the superstores and all, they have their rooms or the dressing rooms where you can, or trial rooms where you can try out the dress and buy it. Even the jewelries, they have put now jewelry houses, they allow you can just try how a particular earring fits with you and all, you can just check and then you can buy. You are not putting it, but you can just see it in the mirror at least. So, if at least this is there, then the customer may adopt it. Otherwise, if they are not sure how they will be looked in the society, how to use it, or then the adaptability would be much less. Now, I am talking about a totally different thing. So, that this is the impact of opinion leadership in the process of diffusion of innovation. Now, in this case, I will first like to tell you about who is an opinion leader. Opinion leadership is actually a route by which the opinion leader off the record persuades the dealing or attitudes of the opinion seekers or just opinion recipients. But who is an opinion leader? Let us discuss that who is an opinion leader first. Opinion leader may be like a doctor when you are going to a doctor for treatment. So, in that case, whatever medicine the doctor prescribes, you are bound to buy that medicine. When the students buy books, they will be motivated by what the teacher is prescribing as a textbook, or which textbook is prescribed in their syllabus. So, which means the teacher or the doctor here is the opinion leader. They are the formal opinion leaders, there could be informal opinion leaders also. For example, I want to buy a laptop and one of my friend is very much tech savvy, and he knows, he is an hardware engineer and software, he knows much about hardware and software than me. So, what happens, I can go and actively seek his opinion about purchasing this kind of product. I know some people are exclusively they are going for different kind of tours. So, before planning for a tour trip, I may discuss with that friend of mine. Then I think that this person has an expert opinion about this product. So, the opinion receivers recognize the opinion leaders as a greatly trustworthy objective source of product related information, and the people who can help them in trim down their search and evaluation time and also reduce the perceived risk associated with the purchase, because now you are taking a decision with more information. And you yourself need not to go and search information, you are just referring to a particular person whom you feel to be the expert, and you are resorting to his opinion. So, search time and evaluation time is also minimized. Opinion leaders are sometimes themselves interested to provide opinions and guidance to others, partly because by doing so they feel that their own status and self image are enhanced, and also partly because such counseling may reduce any post purchase dissonance that they may contain. Other motives consist of product or message linkage or any other involvement. Studies of opinion leadership points out that this effect is normally product category specific, in which they are interested or they have an expertise. As right now I said, for Sensodyne, because it is talking about medicinal benefits, I may think of the dentist to be portraying the hygiene and sensitivity resistant factor, to talk about the hygiene and sensitivity resistant factor of this product. Talking about the herbal products, when Patanjali brands this time, when they are promoting in the mass media, they are showing the face of Ramdev, and it is showing that Ramdev himself is talking about Patanjali toothpaste and saying the herbal benefits of the product. Ramdev is a face of this national brand Patanjali actually. So, it works, and an opinion leader of one product series can be the opinion receiver for a different product category. Say a teacher is recommending the book for the library, but he is an opinion leader that time. He may be an opinion seeker while purchasing a laptop. So, by and large the opinion leaders are extrovert, confident, innovative people, and they are socially animated. They want to disseminate information. In addition, they may consider themselves distinguished from others and choose to act differently. Many times for this reason they turn to be innovators or early adopters. They obtain information from their domain of interest and expertise to passionate readership of interest magazines, search engines, and sometimes simply by new product trials. So, many times say for example, the tourism organizations or travel tourism organizations, they actually portray some of their already the frequent travelers with them and their opinions as accreditations or testimonials. They talk about the particular tourism industry that I went through this tourism and it was good. So, similarly different kind of the beauty parlors and all, or the fashion products are not fashion products, I will say this for personal care products. There also they seek opinion from different individuals, and that can be used as testimonials that I have used this product and I have got benefited. All the slimming devices which we see in the televised shoppings these days in television. So, all this, there are some people they are saying that how they have got benefited by using a roti maker or a sleeving device. Okay. So, this is where they are communicating. So, this is the way the marketer use them to communicate. An opinion leadership generally occurs among friends, neighbors, colleagues who are in frequent connection and thus have an abundant scope to understand and pass on product related informal discussion. So, I will just tell one thing in this case, that Lifebuoy Swasth Chetana campaign, they when Lifebuoy was in little bit the sales was not so good, that time they have launched this Lifebuoy Swasth Chetana campaign in collaboration with the international health organizations like UNICEF, WHO kind of organization, and also government of Kerala supported them for the initial pilot project, where they first tried to motivate the school going kids and showed them that how by using a Lifebuoy can prevent their hands from diarrhea, prevent their hands from germs of diarrhea, and this can in turn prevent diarrhea, which is one of the prevalent infectious disease in our country. So, the children later on became the ambassadors of this and opinion leaders for this, and they started propounding this propagating this information further to the society, as well as they brought this information to the family as the opinion leader. So, this kind of things could be used if you know actually whom you could use as the opinion leader. So, diffusion researchers are mainly concerned about two basic communication aspects of the product innovation. First, the channels through which the product information could be spread, like in this case Lifebuoy Swasth Chetana, I was talking about the kids. Similarly, when Hindustan Unilever has used Project Shakti for their rural marketing initiative, then Shakti Ammas are their channels by which they are disseminating the product related information to the rural public. And second, the kind of messages that persuade the adoption or rejection of the new products and services. Lifebuoy, I was talking about the anti-diarrheal campaign. So, that is the message that you use the soap before eating, after eating, and then you can prevent yourself from diarrhea. So, the two-step flow of communication theory focuses on the role of interpersonal influence in the reach of innovation information from mass media to the prospective customer. And this theory develops the base of much improved multi-step communication model like hierarchy of effects model, IDA model, innovation adoption model. These I have already discussed in the previous module. So, I am not going in details in this module. So, opinion leaders actually can influence in all these steps. It is therefore imperative for the marketers to segment their prospective market into opinion leaders and opinion receivers for particular product category. In fact, while directing the promotional efforts to the more influential segments of this market, the marketer can use opinion leaders to pass on the information to those who search for product related suggestions. Marketers therefore deliberately aim to create and encourage opinion leadership. They have also recognized that they can generate opinion leaders matching with their own products by incorporating socially concerned, active and influential people in a calculative manner to augment the diffusion of their innovation. Sometimes they give discounts in this way, like if you consider MLM network, like this is network marketing I am saying, like Amway. So, what they do, they it is a kind of distribution chain. They first they try to create a network of the customers and make them the customers the agents, and through them the opinion or the product is flowed to the next level of the customer, who again becomes the agents of the organization. So, this is the way through network marketing they are operating. So, this kind of concepts can come up because of linking the distribution model with the use of opinion leadership. And marketers, that is why I am saying that, can also think of another aspect, that is the market mavens. Market mavens is an extreme variety of opinion leadership. Now, these consumers have a broad area of information about several types of products, retails and other dimensions of market, like the share traders, share brokers or different financial advisors. They can advise you how to, or the portfolio managers, they can advise you how to invest in different financial schemes, how to buy different mutual funds, how to invest in different mutual funds, how to buy shares of different companies. They can give you a proper guidance because they are maven to this market, which means they are very knowledgeable about this particular market. So, they both kick off the discussion with other consumers and act in response to requirements for market information over a broad array of products and services. So, market mavens are distinguished from other opinion leaders, since their authority roots are not so much from the product knowledge, but from the general awareness and market awareness that allows them to develop an early knowledge about the broader range of new products and services. So, these are in short the influencing factors of diffusion of innovation. So, thank you and see you in the next session.